Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry.
This deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Welcome into the locker room, the most sacred of spaces in sports. Talking you through the behind-the-scenes conversations that happen behind closed doors. With former Nebraska football tight end Chancellor Brewington.
Chancellor Brewington, the 6-year senior tight end, finding his way into the end zone.
And former South Dakota State running back and Nebraska football assistant Mikey Daniel.
Hand off to Daniel inside the 2 to the 1, and he powers his way into the end zone for a South Dakota State touchdown.
This is The Locker Room, brought to you by App Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Yes, welcome into the locker room here. Another week of the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket, and we are past the bye week, and it's time to focus on Indiana. Mikey, Daniel, Chancellor Brewington in studio. I'll throw it to you.
Happy Monday, man. Happy Monday. Man, how you doing, bro?
Amazing. I'm doing amazing. I'm refreshed from the weekend. Good reset. Good Monday. Good routine. I'm full, man. I'm rich. I'm rich in every sense.
Oh, yeah. That's a word right there. That's a word. This weekend was good, man. I needed it. I went back up to South Dakota State to go check out the fam, squad, and they're good.
They get it done?
Yeah, 6-3-13.
Oh, wow.
They cribbed the opening kickoff return.
Really? Oh, that's special.
Butter, bro. Like
butter.
They're so cold, bro. That's what they haven't lost the FCS game in 3 years.
Are you serious?
Not one.
Wow.
Yeah. That we lost 2 times in the last 3 years. One 3 years ago at Iowa 7-3, and then the other one was at the beginning of this season at Oklahoma State. So that's the only 2 games they lost in the last 3 years.
That's pretty amazing. I wish I could say my automata was like that. But we're gonna get there.
Right. Amen. Bach?
Yeah.
What you got going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. I had a pumpkin patch weekend. So
Which one?
week.
Which one?
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot. Velas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a good
I
time.
heard a lot about that place.
Yeah, it's packed. Everybody took advantage. Everybody had the same thought. Bye week, pumpkin patch.
Well, man, as always, I want to get us started with a quote. And this just wrap about. I really like this one. It says, "Worrying is carrying tomorrow's load with today's strength, carrying 2 days at once. It is moving into tomorrow ahead of time. Worrying doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength."
Wow.
Worrying doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength.
That's good.
Oh,
that's really good.
That's it. What you got about it?
Man, I got a lot. About that because I the concept of worrying, that used to frustrate me as a kid, being around environments of like, when people worry about this, and this, and I never really understood it because that's like not how I'm made. But as I got older, I understand a little bit more of like, okay, like, you're worrying about this, worrying about whatever. Obviously, I don't have kids and stuff like that, but I know one thing for sure. Is that we can create anything. We can create anything. So the compounding of worrying over time, over a day, over 60 seconds, you just created something in that time. And Tony Robbins is a fantastic person, does a great job with like mental clarity and stuff like that. And he says he gives himself a 90-second rule. When he's worrying about whatever, he gives himself 90 seconds to attack. He attacks it. He calls it attacking that worrying thought or that anxiety, depression, whatever. And he attacks it with positivity. He attacks it with, creating the future that he wants, creating it with some type of positive angle. And then that compounds and it resets the pattern in which you think. And I know for sure, man, that worrying can you can get so far in worrying that you can create a whole narrative that will never happen. Never happen. Like, I used to do that when I was playing football, like, first time, fall camp, like, what if this happens? What if this? And then you get so far and you just create a whole story that will never happen.
Never happen.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
man, I love this quote. I don't worry. And I really do mean that. My wife and I will sometimes argue about that because she's the opposite. She'll try to worry about anything. And me, I'm just like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like, I'm maybe too chill about it, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. But because what is it gonna do for me? Right? Like if something's going to happen, if I'm sitting here manifesting and thinking about it, oftentimes the fear of it happening is worse than it actually happening. Right. And so for me, I just think that if I listen to the word of God and I truly trust in it, like I said, dude, I named my son Jireh, right? Jireh, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide.
Right.
If I name my son that, but I don't walk that out, then I'm fraud. Right. And so I truly trust that I walk anywhere confidently because people be like, oh, I don't go to certain places at certain times or do this, that, and third. I believe that no matter what, I'm not going to run away from what's supposed to happen. I'm not going to. And so if I live my life that way, there's too much negativity in this world for me to worry about things. I'll go crazy. I don't have time for that. So I love this idea and the concept of not worrying and carrying tomorrow's load with today's strength. You can't do it. Tomorrow's got enough problems of its own.
Right.
So let me use what I got today for today's problems.
Yeah. Plenty. Because I think I've told this story, but I'll say it one more time. There was a man who he was on a cruise and he got to ask the head guy, the captain.
Yeah.
The captain, what happens if the engine shut off? And the captain says, you either float, it looks like you're floating, right? And it looks like you're staying still, but you're either floating out in the middle of nowhere or you're floating back home, right? And so it's the same with our thoughts and emotions and all these things. And I'm reading an amazing book. It's called Quantum Body, but there's a quantum field that you have trillions of cells inside your body, trillions, and they're always communicating information. Red blood cells, white blood cells are communicating information to each other. Your cells are always communicating, right? but they're communicating also to a quantum field. And that's where if you're stressed, worried, and anxiety, all those things, there's a certain frequency that you're emitting out to the universe, quote unquote, or the quantum field. And that quantum field or the universe has to give you what you're emitting to it.
Yeah.
And so like you're talking about, if we were worrying and we're doing all this stuff, we just created something and we don't even know the ramifications of what we just created, really. And it's a lot easier not to worry. Maybe for some people. For me, it is. I know that, man. If it goes back to, like you were saying, what's your foundational? What's your foundation? Are you satisfied, or not so much satisfied? Are you built on what other people say about you? Are you built on your job? Are you built on your work? Are you built on your parents? Like, are you built on something that sways itself, right? Or are you built on something that never sways and is always the same to yesterday, tomorrow, and forever? The thing that will always be the same. And I think, if everyone gets attached to that, then you cannot worry. But if you're not attached to that, I could understand why you worry.
Right.
I could understand it.
For me, I think that people are so terrified about uncertainty.
Yeah.
It's gripping, right? It's binding. I think that the most successful people I know, and that also depends on what you consider success, right? I think that the highest achievers, the most, if you're talking football, who wins the most often, frequently, whatever, I think it's the people who operate in uncertainty the best, because they're not worried about what's to come. They're worried about the process in between. I can't be worried about the outcome. I have to be worried about here, because the outcome, no matter what you do, is uncertain, right? And so I think that, like, Coach Rule does such a good job of creating that chaos. And I've talked about this time and time again. He creates uncertainty. So now that team can thrive in it. That staff can thrive in it. There's nothing you could throw their way that would knock them out their pivot, right? And so looking forward, they just got out of the bye week. But even before, I guess, I want to just recap what we saw this last weekend and some of the things that we saw. Obviously the big one, Oregon, Ohio State.
Yeah. It was a tight game. It was a lot, I said it was going to be within 3 points, and it ends up being 32-31. Some questionable late game decisions by Ohio State, whatever. But
he's gone.
Yeah. Okay. We're about to get into it.
Not yet.
But I really think this might have changed some things in the Big Ten.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, the Michigan, was a question mark going into this Big Ten year. I remember at media days, everyone's talking about, I went up there and said, we were on the air, and I just said, I think Michigan probably gonna be trash this year. And I didn't.
You had a disrespectful segment.
I said it, and I'm around the OGs, and they're like, "Oh, young pup coming in here, firing shots," and I'm like, "Well, I just don't see how they're gonna be good." Like, what I'm saying? I just don't understand, right? And so now I look back, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't anticipate Oregon being the number one in the Big Ten. I truly didn't. I thought they were gonna be, I thought they were gonna be in the elite category, maybe top 4, but I didn't think they were gonna be number 1. And then they go and beat Ohio State. So you start off, probably Michigan's going to be number 1, right? And then Ohio State drops, right? Now you got Oregon. And I know Oregon and Penn State are going to play here soon. So now if Oregon can sustain this number 1 spot, now there's a mass collision. There's going to be a mass collision for number 2, because if Oregon goes ahead and beats Penn State, they're going to be a 1-loss team.
Which they will.
Ohio State's going to be a 1-loss team unless Nebraska gets it done. I anticipate Nebraska beating Indiana this week. I anticipate that. So Indiana's going to be a 1-loss team.
Yeah.
Nebraska's going to be a 1-loss team. Right. So you're going to have this mass, fighting and in pecking order at this number 2 spot. But I'm almost glad this happened, because it kind of gives whoever idea it was for the Big Ten merger, it kind of gives them like a little, like, I don't know, pat on the back, because Washington, I think they're going to be like an average team, but UCLA and then USC start off strong, but you don't know how they're going to finish. So to have one of the teams in the merger go and get to the height of the Big Ten. I think that's good for the conference. I think it's good moving forward.
No question. And you already kind of hit on the Penn State a little bit, but that's another big one. Penn State comes back, wins in overtime out in Southern California against USC, the Trojans, who I thought they was looking like the number one team that we were going to play for the rest of the season. I have sent that. I mean, that was week 2. That was my early hot take. No, they still look good, no question. But what did you think about that one?
It just seems like Miller Moss to start the year off, the LSU game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like, he's starting off like real hot, right? Like we're like, there was even crazy talks of does he fit this USC offense better than Caleb Williams? Like just crazy talks to start off the year, right? And so now, as you just let some time pass, right? And you let the, cream rise and whatever fall, right? Now you see, okay, Miller Moss, he all right quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a thing where, he's gonna lead the Big Ten and he's gonna be a Heisman candidate. Like, no, it's not that. Like, he's kind of declared that situation, but this Penn State offense it's just not enough for me. I think they're gonna drop maybe 1 or 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the year. I don't anticipate them going undefeated, especially beating Oregon. And I believe they still have to play. I believe they might still have to play Ohio State. They play Ohio State. They don't play Oregon. They play Ohio State. That's the one I was talking about. And even a team like Wisconsin, I mean, like, a team that's running the ball efficiently, a team like Washington, and a hot Minnesota right now. You just never know. But this Penn State team, it seems like they have to take a jump in their offense. And I would say in Tyler Warren, they probably had one of the best tight ends, number 44, the guy who they did the trick play, where he lined up at center, hiked it, and then double pass he caught in the end zone. But I mean, just little things like that. That was one thing I knew in the offseason they were trying to improve how explosive they were on offense, scoring more easily, explosive players, yada yada yada, and it just kind of looks like a repeat. And they have a solid defense, but for SC to go and put up 30 on you, and they just have some things to fix.
No question.
Yeah.
We also saw Wisconsin completely handle Rutgers, and now what I tell you is this: Coach Rule's whole thing last season when I was there on the staff with him was, I want the team that we play to go get knocked out the next game, because that means that we put a beating on them.
Yeah.
And what it shows and if you look at the schedule of all the teams that we played this year, the next game, I think all of them were really, I mean, aside from Colorado, all of them went and pretty much got knocked out.
Or they're beat up.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal, because that means that you have implemented the physicality that you want, right? And so I think that they're doing a tremendous job, but Wisconsin looks really good too. They're surprising me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were going to become, but they're becoming whatever they want to be, it appears.
Yeah, it's like after that Bama game, they got the big brother knocked some sense into the little brother, and now they on fire. They mad.
And they're weird. They're going the opposite direction to me.
Alabama. Yeah. That's a whole nother. But I want to stay on this point of what you just said, because there were some tweets going around Twitter of, oh Lord, the Illinois Purdue game, right? And they're like, man, like I don't know how to feel now. I feel like Purdue. First of all, they were the Wisconsin Purdue game last week. They were like, oh, we only beat Purdue by X amount, right? And then now Wisconsin goes and beat Rutgers. I don't really see.
Can't play that game.
You can't play that game because it's a never-ending cycle of disappointment, or you're either feeling superior or inferior in every scenario, right? And so now you get into this point where you're judging what a team does against a team you just played, but there's many different variables. You might have just exposed everything that team needed to win the game.
Not only that, but if I'm playing somebody, I play a different. Nebraska runs a 3-3-5.
Right.
Who else in our conference does that?
Nobody.
Exactly. So that's just one thing.
Yeah.
Certain schemes work against certain teams differently than, right? You can never play that game.
Never.
Right. It's like the Bengals barely losing to the Ravens, and they should have been like, you can never keep playing that game. Also, this is D1 Power 5 football.
Yeah.
Right. So anybody is capable of beating anybody at any time.
And we're seeing that at a completely different rate this year.
And we're going to keep seeing it.
Completely different rate. We had ASU on Friday night go and beat Utah. And a Cam Rising, all of a sudden he, looks like he snaps his good knee, quote unquote. He has one bum knee, and then, he snaps his other knee, right? And Arizona State is 5-1 now, beat Utah, right? And so it's like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You had
Jeff Sims had a quarterback a touchdown in that game.
Exactly. You had LSU beat Ole Miss. I mean, there's too many variables nowadays that I don't think people understand of the change in college football. You can't judge the way, like, I used to love like the Clemson and Alabama battles with Deshaun Watson and who was the Alabama quarterback?
Tua
or Jalen Hurts
for a minute.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Like, I used to love those battles. Why? Because you knew Clemson had, their too deep was nuts, right? And you knew Bama's too deep was nuts. But all of a sudden, because why? Those were the two superpowers, right? You had a sprinkle in Georgia, sprinkle in, LSU, whatever. But for the most part, those were the superpowers, and everyone was going to go to those schools. Now, the landscape changed. You have, Arizona, U of A, right? U of A has one of the best receivers in the nation.
Right.
Boise State has one of the best running backs in the nation. Colorado has two of the best, I would say, players in the nation, right? Yeah. Usually back in the day, where would those guys go?
Bama, Florida back in the day, LSU.
Yeah, Florida.
Clemson.
Yeah, the U, yeah.
Texas, maybe.
Texas, A&M, maybe, back with Manziel, whatever. But now you're seeing these guys pop up at every school. We got the number one recruit where? Right down the road.
Right down on Memorial Lane.
Right down the road. It's a different ball game.
Great stuff there for the first segment of the Locker Room. We will be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pine Pioneers Boulevard.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with Roof Credit.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on The Locker Room here on 93.7 The Ticket. Plenty to get to, including a little bit of Matt Rule's press conference. I'll throw it back to you guys.
Rap about it, man. Coach Rule.
Yeah.
Coach Rule.
So the big thing for me was I want to know when Tommy Hill was going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at this Indiana game, we got a heavy 10 personnel opponent, right? So they're going to be in 4. They're going to have one running back out there, no tight end, and you have to adjust to that, right? You got to bring in some type of true nickel where you got 5 DBs on the field, possibly a dime package, right? Because, I see a statistic. Shout out to Husker X's and O's. He does a great job doing all the statistics on Twitter. He said that 84% of the time they're in 10 personnel, they throw the football, right? So you're leaving a 6% window for an inside zone with no tight end attached, right? You know what I'm saying? It's things like that, right? So to have these DBs, and we posed the question, what's going to happen when Tommy Hill come back? Are you going to leave Buford? Are you going to do Sayer? Well, you have an opportunity to have all three of those guys on the field this week. You're going to have an opportunity to have Giff, play man on, come down and play man on, running back or whatever it is, and have, whether it's, Javen Wright or John Bullock on the field, playing a spy or whatever, because Rourke, is that how you say his name? Rourke.
Yep.
He doesn't, I wouldn't necessarily, he's not very mobile with his legs, not very agile. But that was one thing. And I guess in the presser, he said that Tommy, kind of ruptured whatever in his foot, and it kind of ended up working out, and now he's ready to play. That's what he said in the press. So what are your takes on, Tommy being back and what that adds to his defense? Because the DBs have been balling, right? And so when you add him back, now it's kind of, I would say it could tip the iceberg in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy Hill's 101.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as great as all them other guys are, they're great. Tommy's still 101, right? He's just different. They're all balling, and I love it, bro. I love to see it. But Tommy Hill's the guy that's flirting with the first round for a reason.
Right.
That's not by accident.
Right.
And so I think it's a phenomenal problem to have, if you want to even call it a problem. Right. I think it's a phenomenal blessing to have.
Yeah.
Because now they can't get tired. The question is going to be, who of them can I throw in the slot? Right. And who I could see doing that a lot. MC, Malcolm will go play in the slot. Right. He'll go cover over slot. I see that a lot. I think Sayer Wright and probably Tommy Hill will stay both outside. That's just where Tommy's bag's been. That's where he's at. That's what he does. So I'd leave him outside. Right. I wouldn't even mess with it. But I would have MC who can really, he's the most versatile to me. He can play so many different places. And Giff is the best coming down in the box. Right. It's just great, bro. Like I feel really good about that for us.
Yeah.
And I think it benefits us that they are that way.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Everyone thinks that our run defense is probably our strength. And maybe so. We haven't given up a rushing touchdown. But those DBs aren't playing. And that gives a chance for our D-line to really show what they're about.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be an awesome opportunity for guys who excel in these type of environments. The James Williams, the Prince Wills, the Cam Linhart, the Jamari, Ty Nash, like guys who when it's an obvious pass down, they lick their chops and they're like mad they're not on the field, right? Because they know they can have some type of effect on the game. And to even go even further, when you look at Indiana's O-line, it's not a thing where they dominate. I think O-line wise, I think Illinois was better than Indiana's, and I think honestly, I think Rutgers was as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you played two O-lines that have been better, and I think the flip side as well. I think defensively, Rutgers and Illinois was better than Indiana. So, but you're also facing an offense who knows exactly what they like to do. They don't. Something that we haven't figured out, and I know we'll talk about that, but they know exactly what they like to do. They know that they're going to throw the ball 35 to 42 times a game, and they're going to have a 70% completion percentage. They're going to have they have two good backs. They got one of Ellison, he's kind of a bruiser, kind of an in between the tackle guy, and then they have number 17. It's like Tyson something, but he's more of your catch things out the backfield, screen game. He'll motion out, do some things out wide out, things like that. So it's an interesting game when you look at the whole perspective. But what Nebraska needs to do is they need to do a lot of things on offense, I would say. But for defense wise, this is a game where this is a statement game. This is one of them Colorado games where you got quote unquote the highest rated quarterback in the nation, just strictly off QBR, right? How you did Shador, can you do it again? Right? How you got pressure on him, how you locked up their best receiver, because they have 4 or 5 guys that they like to throw to over 200 yards already, right? So this is not a game where you can hang your hat on running the stopping the run or this and this. Like you have to establish, okay, you're not finna throw the football on us. You're not, we're gonna get QB pressures, we're gonna get QB hurries. And guys have to take a initiative of that early.
Well, here's the thing too. You have Buddha back, right? You have Javen Wright.
Yeah.
Guess what? That dude's like a linebacker DB. Like that benefits us significantly,
right?
Because he's so long. He's good at. I don't know how many interceptions he had last year, but plenty of it. You know, he can play that, right? So that greatly benefits us too, because he, like I said, he's built both ways.
Yeah.
And that's not even something what we're talking about yet, but he's not even, he just came back.
Right.
Having him back, especially for a game like this and the week after that, not to look over this one. Come on.
Yeah, this is what you need. And then, looking even further, like the SC game, like this is where he will excel.
Yeah.
Because I think the Mackay Bears excel in the Rutgers atmosphere, in the Illinois atmosphere. But when we get in these heavy pass scenarios where, eventually you might have to man them up on a tight end, you might have to even man them up on a receiver, right? Like that's the type of guy you want on the field. And I can't wait for what James Williams is going to do. Like, I think this is a good follow-up game because Rutgers, you don't really think you're going to get opportunities to get some sacks late, right? Because, it's a run-heavy team. All of a sudden, you end the game like that. So that's the last momentum leading into this game. And now I know the death row on them boys is just licking their chops to get something done.
Okay, so we're coming off of a bye.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean? What does this game mean following a bye? And if you don't understand, what I'm saying is after a bye, the great teams accelerate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are certain people who are still asleep. Certain teams.
Right.
If you're just an average team, you're going to still be sleeping after that bye week, right? You're going to need a wake-up call. If Nebraska is really who they say they are, they're going to have to show that we're going to continue to accelerate. We're not asleep anymore. Like we had our bye week, we're refreshed. And I think they needed that. The team looked really tired.
Yeah.
They looked beat up. They looked just worn out.
They did look beat up.
And I think it came at the perfect time.
Yeah.
So following that bye week, what do you expect us to see?
Yeah, I think we should see a fresh team first. I think we should see, some faces back. Guys high energy, guys locked in, guys super well prepared too. I want to see guys, knowing exactly where they're going, playing really fast. That's one of the, I would say that, playing really fast.
Yeah.
Playing really fast, because that goes into preparation, that goes into coaching, that goes to the way you're practicing. That means you're practicing good. Rule even came out this morning and said that they had really good practices during the bye week, good practice today. That's what you want to see. You want to see guys playing fast, because at the end of the day, you got a stretch right here. You got a 3-game stretch where you need to get at least 2 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. You need to beat Indiana. Okay, you lose one to Ohio State. Listen, we could talk about it when it get up to it. I might have a crazy take on that one. But then you go play, I believe, UCLA right after that. Mm-hmm. So you need at least 2 wins to like I've been talking about, to stay in this number 2 race, because I think Nebraska is fully capable of, competing for this Big Ten. Like, I don't understand why you would count Nebraska out of this.
You never would. The only problem I have, and I say this like as truthful as I can, I don't respect Indiana. I just don't.
We're getting into it, Bob.
Bro, I don't respect them.
Give me the foundation that keeps that belief up.
They're fraudulent. A team that has never been tested. A team that has never been tested. I cannot sit here and call you really one of them.
Right.
I can't do it. They have played nobody. If they had played at least one formidable opponent, I would be like, okay, you know what? Maybe they're better than I think they are, but they haven't.
Right.
None. Nobody. So they're putting up these dominant performances and all these yards and all these points, this, that, and the third, and not giving up any. But it's like us playing UTEP every week.
Okay, well, UTEP is crazy.
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's give more context. They played the best teams they played so far: Maryland,
horrible;
Northwestern, and UCLA.
They have a running back that's their head coach that should never have gotten the job. They're horrible.
Okay, so you got those 3 teams, and then obviously you go Charlotte, Western Illinois, FIU, and those, we've already talked about that. So out of those 3 teams, and I'm on your side. I ain't gonna lie. I'm on your side a little bit. I'm on your side average. Okay, why? Because if you look at Northwestern game, it was a full game into the fourth quarter. It was a full game. You look at the Maryland game, Rourke, whatever. I think he's a great talent. I think he plays sound football. He ended up throwing 2 picks and they fumbled, and Maryland didn't capitalize off of any of them. 3 turnovers start the game off in the first quarter.
We finna blow these fools out.
I love it, man. Go ahead, Bach.
All right, we'll be back with more in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket right after this break.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, frost likely this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mostly sunny skies for today. An afternoon high around 62. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 37. And tomorrow, more frost in the morning and sunshine for the day. We'll see a high around 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by F Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment today from The Locker Room here on 93.7 The Ticket with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Things were getting a little bit disrespectful there. Maybe feeling more disrespectful in this segment. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I was just going to tell you that because I didn't get out what I needed to get out with all my disrespectful segment.
Get out what
I
you need
got
to get
into
out,
it. The only thing I respect about Indiana is their head coach saying, I win. But I'm going to move on past them for now because it's only Monday. But I want to talk about the Cowboys.
Oh, my gosh.
If I'm going to be disrespectful, they're the worst thing I've seen on TV this year. Them and the Jaguars. I'm tired of watching. And the Jaguars are staying in London again. Like, they have back-to-back games in London. Why are they doing London like that? They put the Jaguars and the Patriots over there this weekend.
I don't know.
London is going to grab its second body this year. And what I mean by that is the Jets lost there. Then when they came back, they fired Robert Saleh.
Right.
Okay. See you, Doug Peterson. You're gone. He's going to be the second one gone this year.
What do you think it is with Dak? I mean, is it Dak or is it the Cowboys?
It's Jerry Jones.
Oh, boy.
He need to go. He need to fire himself. If I'm being honest, they will never be good until he's gone. Until he just, and I'm not saying like, I'm saying until he just chills out, unless the people who he hires do what they're supposed to do.
Right. Do you think a guy like CeeDee Lamb, has, over I would say the past year and a half, really slated himself in that like top 5 category of receiver? Do we see, we've been seeing some frustration from him on the sidelines, of what this offense isn't putting out there. Do we see some change moving forward with the CeeDee Lamb situation, or, just are we just going to continue to see frustration, or we think we're going to see some movement from him?
You got to see some movement. Dude, how do they not go draft a big guy, a number 2 legit wide receiver and a running back?
Yeah.
What? You thought Rico Dowdle was going to do it?
Right.
And the old Ezekiel Elliott and the old Dalvin Cook, who doesn't even play, he's on the practice squad. Like, what was your plan?
Right.
And then you almost lose CD because you didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, you almost did. And that's your only saving grace. That's your only saving
grace.
What
this speaks highly to me is I'm already high on Dan Quinn. I love Dan Quinn.
Right.
And this defense is terrible. They're giving up like 40 points a game. Right? Yeah. Like, they're terrible. Dan Quinn goes over to DC. He's hooping. They lost yesterday to Baltimore and the Ravens and Derrick Henry, but that was a fight. Like, he's got something over there.
So, okay, I want to stay on that Ravens conversation. When you look at Lamar and Derrick Henry, it seems as if we're like seeing the perfect mesh between quarterback and running back. Why do you think that is, from a running back's perspective, but also just from like a, offense perspective of why they're meshing so well?
First of all, my favorite player in the league is Lamar Jackson, bro. I just got so much love for him. But I think it's just they complement each other well, right? They both just draw so much attention. And now you're starting to see Mark Andrews become his own, right? He was slow to get into it, right? He was probably a little hesitant because of his leg.
Right.
He's back now, and he's starting to look good the last 2 weeks. On top of that, you have Zay Flowers. So that team is
had
dynamic.
a really big game.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks again.
Yeah.
Right? That team is dynamic because they all complement each other so well. Who do you guard?
Yeah, because if you try to bracket or whatever Zay when he's in the slot, well, then you got Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
He's still, I'm high on him. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. Then you got, Pro Bowler Mark Andrews, and then you got Isaiah Likely. And he's been great this year. He's been a sleeper, I think, for some guys going into this year, but the things he did at Coastal Carolina were incredible. And we're seeing him do the same things, with the Ravens.
Derrick Henry at any single moment at 290 pounds and 6'10" can take it 99 yards at any moment.
Yeah.
And it makes
scary.
no sense.
He's scary.
So you have to think about that. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, we just did a crazy play action and we rolled out with Lamar Jackson. He looking at Zay Flowers over the top. Oh, it's not there. I'm just gonna take off for 80 myself. Right?
Okay, I got a question running back. What's the best backs you've seen? Top 3 backs you've seen in your lifetime?
You talking about in person?
Well, no, just like you was alive for him and got to watch him on tape. So you can't say like Walter
Adrian
Payton.
Peterson.
Okay, AP.
I think he's the greatest of all time.
Okay,
I really do. That's a crazy question. I'm Seattle and I love Marshawn Lynch, but I don't know that he's. You said top 3.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't do that. Probably. I got McCaffrey because he's all encompassing back, and I love Le'Veon Bell too. So that's probably my 3rd.
But I guess the question I'm trying to get at is where is Derrick Henry going to end up? Like,
oh yeah, well he's still playing the game,
right.
And so is
it's
Christian
different.
McCaffrey.
It's different, but like, where is he going to end up? Because what he's doing, he's leading the league in rushing right now.
Again,
like when are we going to see a fall off? Usually, big backs like this who get 20 carries a game, 25 carries a game in the league, right? Usually, was this year 6, year 7 for him?
It's like 8,
might be 7 or 8 or something like that.
He's 30 years old.
They're not still going. This might be year 8 actually.
Not at the clip that he's going at.
Yeah. Okay. They're going. Le'Veon with the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like there's a fall off and a limited role, but he's taking the whole running game on his shoulders right now and doing it very efficiently.
As the game goes on, like I've seen it the last few weeks too. They had to go seal the deal. He doing it by himself. By himself. Like he's cold blooded, bro. When it's all said and done, he's absolutely in that conversation.
Yeah.
The thing about him that's kind of limiting to me is he doesn't do a whole lot of receiving.
Right.
Which it just adds a different dynamic. And that's why I'm big on McCaffrey, because you can go put him in the slot and there's just so much that he can do.
Right.
And then Adrian Peterson, obviously Adrian Peterson, but
no LT?
Yeah, but I was a lot younger when he was playing. Like I followed him, but I wasn't like that engaged at that time. But yeah, he's definitely obviously up there. Yeah. I don't know. I think that he's no question Hall of Famer. Like he time and time again. He had another 2 touchdowns yesterday, bro. Like you can't stop
124 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns.
When he's anywhere, some people got this. Some people really, really, really got this, and other people don't, and that's fine. When he gets around that end zone, it's over with. Like he just has a taste of blood. He's like a shark. He knows what it is. Like I see him accelerate. Like I watched him in his first touchdown yesterday that he scored from like the 8-yard line. Didn't matter. You could have sent the whole house at him. Hurricane Milton or whoever just came through.
He ain't stopping for nothing.
Ain't stopping.
He ain't stopping for nothing. I love it though. I love it.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the locker room today. We've got plenty more throughout the week. It's time for On the Block to start, though, here in a few minutes, so we got to get out. We'll see you around the corner on the block on 93.7 The Ticket here in just a few minutes.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact